Let's make your English accurate English. I will teach you the correct pronunciation of some commonly mispronounced words. Even my advanced students make some of these mistakes. Let's look at the first word. This word is commonly mispronounced. Do you know how to pronounce it? It means not in the correct position, or not functioning properly, not going as planned, not going well. It's pronounced awry, awry. We often say to go awry. Something went awry. We can say our plans went awry. Everything went awry. Something is awry. Let's listen to some native speakers pronouncing it.
Well, for me, something went a little awry.
Some things go awry.
When it goes awry.
How do we pronounce this word? How many syllables are there? There are only 2 syllables. The A is silent. We say cocoa, cocoa. I like to drink hot cocoa. I use cocoa powder to make a cake. So we don't say cocoa, we say cocoa. Let's look at the next word. When people talk about difficult English pronunciation, they almost always mention this word. English spelling can be very strange, and this one is at the top of the list. So if you haven't been pronouncing it correctly, it's not your fault. It's pronounced like this: kernel, kernel. There's no R in the spelling, but somehow we pronounce it like that. I have no idea why. A colonel is a senior military officer, an officer of high rank in the Army or in the Air Force. And this is a kernel of corn. Same exact pronunciation. Kernel, kernel.
A colonel in the U.S. Army.
I'm Colonel Ty Sigilly.
Each kernel of corn has its own silk.
If you plant one kernel of corn,
I didn't create the language. I just teach you the rules, or in this case, the exceptions. Colonel. I spoke to the colonel. The colonel is in command. How do we pronounce this word? You say it. How many syllables are there? There are not 6 syllables, there are 5. So we don't say automatically, we say automatically. That A disappears. Let's say that again. Automatically. Other words that follow the same pattern are practically and actually. So we say practical, we pronounce that A, but when we say practically, the A disappears. And same thing with actual. We say actual, but we say actually, actually. And let's say that word again, automatically. How did you pronounce the AU? It's not ow, it's aw, aw, automatically. Same thing for other words that begin with AU. Author, August, audience, and so on. Have you been pronouncing this word correctly? It's commonly mispronounced. The vowel sound, the OU, is the same sound as in the words jump, love, and brother. We say country. What country are you from? So don't say country and don't say country. It's country. This is a commonly mispronounced word. Some of my students stress the incorrect syllable. They stress the 3rd syllable and it should be the 2nd. Develop, develop. So we don't say develop, we say develop. And depending on your native language, this one could be a hard habit to break. Here is a short video where I am teaching a student from India. He was struggling with this word, but after a little practice, he was able to master it.
This thing in my mind to develop this American accent.
Develop has 3 syllables. You said develop, and that's not correct. Let's stress the 2nd syllable. Develop.
Develop.
Good. Develop.
Develop.
Can we use it in a sentence?
I'd like to develop some...
No, you said develop. Do it again.
Yeah. I'd like to develop... Sorry. I'd like to develop.
Try it again. We're going to stress the 2nd one.
Develop.
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 That's right. Do it again.
Develop.
Good.
Develop. I'd like to develop. I'd like to develop. I'd like to develop.
Let's say it together. Develop. Development. That's an interesting development. I wonder how things will develop. How do we pronounce this word? If you've seen some of my previous videos, then you know how to pronounce it perfectly. I've talked about this one in the past because it's so difficult for many students. Let's look at the EN. We don't say N, we say on, entre. The TR is pronounced like this, entre, entre, entre. Entrepreneur, entrepreneur. He's a successful entrepreneur. Let's listen to some native speakers pronouncing it.
An extremely successful technology entrepreneur.
Or whether you're an entrepreneur with a $20 million business.
So whether you're an entrepreneur scaling your business.
Have you been pronouncing this word correctly? You say it. It's pronounced figure, figure, figure. Figure has several different meanings. A figure is the amount or the total. For example, give me the figure, give me the total. A figure is also the shape of something. This is a cubical figure. And a figure is also the bodily form. She has a beautiful figure. Also, a character or a person of distinction. We can say, he's a well-known figure in society. Or a person's public image. He's a controversial political figure. And the most common way we use this word is as a phrasal verb, to figure out. This is something we always say. Let's pronounce it perfectly in the past tense. I figured it out. I figured it out. Connect all those words. Make sure you link them. I figured it out. I figured it out. Let's look at some commonly mispronounced words spelled with the letter U. How do we pronounce this word? How do we pronounce the U? We say formula. We don't say formula, we say form U. Formula. There are some other words with the same pronunciation. For example, this word. You say it. Document. It's not document, it's document. And here's a hard one. How do we say this word? Both of those U's are pronounced as U. Accumulate. 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 And by now you already know the pronunciation of this word. You say it. Cuba, not Cuba. Cuba. And here are two more. You say them. Monument and furious. Do you know how to pronounce this word? Even though it's originally French, it's pretty common in English. How do we pronounce it in English? We say genre. 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 Genre is a specific type of music or film or writing. For example, you can say, his favorite film genre is science fiction. That's my favorite genre of music.
My absolute favorite genre.
As a literary genre,
there was something that really drew me to this genre.
Here is another word that comes from French. How do English speakers pronounce it? It means appetizer or starter, a small dish that is served before the main meal. It's pronounced hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvre. Let's have an hors d'oeuvre. And in plural, we say hors d'oeuvres. Would you like some hors d'oeuvres?
Enjoy a drink and an hors d'oeuvre.
Delicious cheeses and other hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. Anyone?
This word is commonly mispronounced. How do you pronounce the S? You say it. Did you say increase or increase? It's a S sound. Increase. Increase. If you've been mispronouncing this word, you may also be mispronouncing these common words. Decrease. We don't say decrease. And release. And this one too. We don't say lease, we say lease. I leased the car. Prices have increased. Don't say increased. Let's learn the correct pronunciation of this word. Make sure you reduce the A. Don't say literally, say literally. Literally. And that T is pronounced like this. Litter, litter. Same as in better, water, a lot of, it is. Literally. Stress the first syllable. Literally. And be careful how you use this word. A lot of people use it incorrectly, including native speakers. For example, you will hear people say, she literally exploded with anger. Well, she didn't literally explode with anger. It just felt that way. Some people say, I'm literally dying of hunger. You're not actually dying, you're very hungry. It's not literal. Literally means exactly, precisely, just like that. So you can say, I'm literally teaching you right now. We should use literally only when something is actually true. For example, you can say, it's very hot today. It's literally 100 degrees in this house. It's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Or it's literally freezing outside. That's possible if it's freezing outside. But if you say, I'm literally freezing, you're probably not dying. You're probably not freezing. You're just very, very cold. So we sometimes use literally incorrectly. Let's look at this word. This word is commonly mispronounced. You say it. The first part is pronounced thur, as in Thursday or third, thur. And the second syllable is pronounced as o, as in row or no. And we stress the first syllable, thorough. Thorough means complete, including every possible detail. For example, you can say, you did a thorough job. The inspection was thorough. Please clean it thoroughly. Don't confuse it with through. This is through and this is thorough. How do we pronounce this word? You say it. The WA is not pronounced wa, it's pronounced woe, as in war or more or for. So we say warm, warm. Imagine war plus M, warm. It's a warm day. This sweater is so warm. Don't say warm. I recommend that you make your own sentences and say the words out loud. That way, you're much more likely to remember them. Thanks for watching and keep practicing your English. Take your English to the final level of fluency with my online courses. The American Accent course, the 400 Advanced Words You Must Know for Fluent English course, and the Phrasal Verbs for Fluent English course. Go to AccurateEnglish.com.